What if I told you that the most powerful man in America is desperately trying to end a conflict and the country holding all the cards is in America? Think about that for a second. Donald Trump has reportedly held multiple emergency meetings. Billions of dollars are being discussed. Diplomats are flying around the world. Oil markets are reacting to every rumor. And yet, the final decision may not be sitting in Washington. It may be sitting in Tehran. And if that's true, then we are looking at one of the biggest geopolitical power shifts of the last decade. Today we're breaking down why Trump wants a deal, why Iran isn't rushing, and why the entire world, from Wall Street to your local gas station, is watching this standoff. Let's start with the obvious question. Why is Trump suddenly pushing so hard for a final agreement? Because time is not his friend. When oil prices rise, inflation rises. When inflation rises, voters get angry. And when voters get angry before elections, politicians start making emergency phone calls. Now imagine you're the president, you have rising energy costs, you have global uncertainty, you have allies demanding action, and you have voters asking a very simple question. Why is gasoline getting more expensive? That pressure creates urgency. Trump wants a deal that he can present as a victory, not just a deal that looks like America won. Because in politics, perception is often more important than reality. Now, here's where things get interesting. For years, the common assumption was simple. America has leverage. Iran reacts. America pressures. Iran responds. But according to many analysts, that equation may have changed. Iran doesn't appear to be negotiating from a position of panic. In fact, Iranian leaders seem to believe that time is working in their favor. Think about the psychology here. If one side desperately wants an agreement today, and the other side thinks waiting another month improves its position, who actually has the leverage? The side that can wait. And that's exactly why negotiations have become so complicated. Reports and political commentators have discussed enormous economic incentives being floated as part of potential agreements. We are talking about reconstruction projects, investment packages, economic cooperation, the kind of rumors that make normal people stop and say, wait, did he say billion or trillion? But here's the problem. Money doesn't solve every geopolitical dispute, because this isn't only about economics, it's about prestige, it's about security, it's about power, and most importantly, it's about who gets to declare victory. According to experts, the biggest disagreements come down to two major issues. Number one, Iran's nuclear program. Number two, control and security arrangements involving key shipping routes in the region. Now, these aren't small disagreements. These are the kinds of issues countries have spent decades arguing about. From America's perspective, any agreement must include strong guarantees about nuclear activities. From Iran's perspective, accepting conditions that appear one-sided could be viewed as surrender. And that's where negotiations get stuck. Both sides want peace. Both sides want economic stability. Both sides want to avoid another major conflict. But neither side wants to look weak. It's a geopolitical version of two people trying to walk through the same doorway at the same time. Nobody wants to step back first. Now here's the crazy part. The real battlefield may not be military. It may be political. Inside America, leaders are thinking about elections. Inside Iran, leaders are thinking about sovereignty. Inside the Middle East, neighboring countries are thinking about stability. And global markets are thinking about one thing, oil. Because every time negotiations seem close to success, markets calm down. Every time talks appear to stall, uncertainty returns. And uncertainty is expensive, very expensive. That's why investors, governments, and businesses are all watching these negotiations like they're the final season of a Netflix series. Trump faces a unique challenge. He needs an agreement, but he also needs a headline. He needs a moment where he can stand in front of cameras and say, mission accomplished. The problem? Iran wants its own headline. Iran wants a deal that proves it resisted pressure. So now both sides are negotiating two different agreements simultaneously. The actual agreement and the public relations agreement. The first one is difficult. The second one might be impossible because both leaders want to tell their supporters, we won. And in international politics, Two sides rarely get to claim total victory at the same time. There are three possible scenarios. Scenario 1. A compromise happens. Both sides make limited concessions. Each side declares victory. Markets celebrate. Oil prices stabilize. Everyone goes home happy, at least temporarily. Scenario 2. Negotiations continue for months. Neither side walks away. Neither side agrees. The war remains stuck in uncertainty. This is actually more common than people realize. Scenario 3. Talks completely collapse. This is a scenario everyone wants to avoid because once diplomacy disappears, unpredictability takes over, and unpredictability is dangerous. So here's a big takeaway. This story isn't really about Trump, and it isn't really about Iran. It's about leverage. For decades, the assumption was that America always controlled the board. Now the debate is whether that board has changed, whether regional powers have gained enough influence to force Washington into negotiations on different terms. And that's why this moment matters, because the outcome won't just determine the future of US-Iran relations. It could reshape the balance of power across the entire Middle East. The question now is simple. Will Trump get the deal he wants, or will Iran force a deal on its own terms? And the answer to that question could affect everything from global oil prices to the next American election. Because in geopolitics, the country that needs the deal most is often the country with the weakest hand. And right now, the world is trying to figure out who actually needs this deal more. So that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button, share with your friends, and do subscribe to the channel.